What if the way you see the world is the very thing holding you back? What if the difference between struggle and strength, frustration and fulfillment, weakness and power, is simply a shift in perspective? Most people sleepwalk through life, burdened by obligation, weighed down by stress, blinded by expectation. But what if you could change that? What if you could take the very same circumstances and flip the script, turning pressure into fuel, setbacks into lessons, and responsibilities into privileges? This is not about wishful thinking. This is about rewiring your mind, about taking control of the lens through which you view reality. In these 8 lessons, we will challenge everything you think you know about stress, work, adversity, relationships, and success. You will learn how to reframe every aspect of your life, turning the ordinary into extraordinary, the mundane into meaningful, the painful into powerful. Are you ready to see the world differently? More importantly, are you ready to see yourself differently? Because once you do, nothing will ever be the same. Lesson 1. The power of perspective. Why your mindset shapes your reality. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. Every moment, every experience, every so-called hardship is filtered through the lens of our perception. And that lens, it is either the sharpest weapon in your arsenal or the deadliest prison you build for yourself. How many times have we woken up, sighed, and whispered to ourselves, "I have to go to work. I have to pay these bills. I have to deal with this problem." We drag our feet through life as if we are chained to obligation, as if we are victims of circumstance. But what if I told you that the chains don't exist? That you are the one gripping them, holding them tight, refusing to let go? Because here's the truth. You don't have to do anything. You get to. Do you know how many people wish they had a job to go to? How many people wish they had another bill to pay because it would mean they still had a home? How many people wish they had one more chance to wake up in the morning? Perspective. It is the blade that cuts through the illusion of misery. It is the weapon that can either free you or keep you shackled. The world does not bend to our expectations. It moves according to the rules we assign it. The moment you shift your mind from obligation to opportunity, from burden to privilege, everything changes. You stop seeing work as suffering. You see it as a means to growth, to survival, to building something greater than yourself. You stop seeing problems as curses. You see them as puzzles to be solved, as challenges that sharpen you into something unstoppable. You can choose to keep dragging your feet. You can choose to see everything as a burden, a weight pressing down on your shoulders. Or you can lift your head and realize that the weight you carry is making you stronger. So tell me, what do you get to do today? And how are you going to make the most of it? Lesson 2. The science of gratitude. How it rewires your brain for success. There's a reason the most powerful minds in history spoke of gratitude not as a fleeting feeling, but as a force, a tool to reshape reality. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It's about rewiring the way you see everything. It's about taking what most people overlook and using it as fuel to become unstoppable. Science has already proven it. Gratitude changes the brain. It alters neural pathways, strengthens the prefrontal cortex, and drowns out the fear-based survival instincts that keep most people stuck. It lowers stress, sharpens focus, and builds resilience. But most people will never harness it because they are too busy complaining about what they lack instead of recognizing what they have. You want to succeed? You want to rise above the chaos? Then master the ability to be grateful. Not just when things are easy, not just when things are going well, but when everything seems to be falling apart. Gratitude is not about ignoring reality. It's about bending reality in your favor. When you train yourself to see the opportunities hidden in every obstacle, When you teach your mind to recognize what you get to do instead of what you have to do, you activate a power most will never touch. Think about it. Two people can experience the same hardship, yet one crumbles under the weight of it while the other rises from the ashes stronger than before. The difference? One saw misfortune, the other saw fuel. Gratitude turns setbacks into stepping stones. It shifts failure into wisdom. It makes pain your greatest teacher. And if you can master that, if you can rewire your mind to seek gratitude even in the darkest moments, you become something else entirely. You become untouchable. Because no matter what life throws at you, you will always find a way to use it to your advantage. So tell me, what are you grateful for right now? And how will you use it to rise? Lesson 3. From victim to victor, taking ownership of your life. The weak point fingers, the strong take control. Most people live their entire lives in chains. Chains they forge themselves. They blame their circumstances, their past, their boss, their upbringing, the economy. Every excuse, every complaint is a brick in the prison they willingly build around themselves. They say, "I have no choice. Life is unfair. This is just how things are." But here's the truth they don't want to hear. No one is coming to save them. No one is going to hand them the life they dream of. And as long as they see themselves as victims of fate, they will stay exactly where they are, stuck, bitter, and powerless. The moment you shift your mindset from victim to victor, from life happens to me to life happens for me, everything changes. Because when you stop waiting for permission and start taking responsibility, you realize something terrifying. You were in control the whole time. Responsibility is power. If you are responsible for where you are now, then you are responsible for where you go next. That means your future is not dictated by the past. That means your limitations are not real. That means every setback, every failure, every hardship is nothing more than a test. A test to see if you are willing to rise, or if you will cower back into the comfort of blaming the world. The strongest warriors in history did not waste time complaining about their battles. They sharpened their weapons. They strengthened their minds. They took every failure, every loss, and turned it into fuel. And that is exactly what you must do. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more giving away your power. From this moment forward, every obstacle is an opportunity. Every hardship is a lesson. Every challenge is a chance to become something greater. So I ask you, are you going to keep blaming the world? Or are you going to take what's yours? Lesson 4. Reframing work and responsibilities. Finding meaning in the mundane. Most people drag themselves out of bed each morning like prisoners heading to their sentence. They complain about their jobs, their responsibilities, their obligations, blind to the fact that what they call burdens are the very things others pray for. They say, "I have to go to work. I have to pay these bills. I have to take care of my responsibilities." But the truth is, they don't have to. They get to. You get to wake up and earn a living. You get to build something with your time. You get to contribute, to grow, to shape your future with the effort you put in today. But most won't see it that way. They'll keep showing up like zombies, counting the hours, waiting for the weekend, wasting their lives, because they never learned how to reframe their perspective. Here's the reality. There is no mundane task, only a mundane mind. Work is not suffering unless you choose to see it that way. Even the most routine job can be a tool, a stepping stone, a battlefield where you sharpen your skills and discipline. It's all about how you frame it. There are only two types of people: those who see work as a curse and those who see it as an opportunity. The first remain stagnant, complaining about their lot in life while never changing a thing. The second, they rise, they learn, they turn every hour into an investment in themselves, and eventually, they break free. You don't have to love your job, but you do have to respect the fact that it's a tool, one that can either chain you to mediocrity or forge you into something greater. So stop seeing work as punishment. See it as training. See it as leverage. See it as a chance to sharpen your mind, develop your resilience, and lay the groundwork for the future you choose to build. Because if you master this mindset shift, you'll never look at work the same way again. So tell me, how will you use today to move one step closer to your vision? Lesson 5. Transforming stress into strength. How to shift your response to adversity. Stress, pressure, chaos. Most people run from these things. They see them as signs that something is wrong, that life is unfair, that they are being crushed under the weight of existence. But the truth? Stress is a privilege. Pressure is a gift. Chaos is an invitation to rise, to evolve, to become something greater than you were yesterday. Weak minds crack under stress. Strong minds are forged by it. You've heard the saying, pressure makes diamonds. But most people don't live like they believe it. The moment life applies pressure, they complain. They retreat. They wish for easier conditions instead of sharpening themselves to handle the ones they've been given. But here's what they don't understand. Stress is neither good nor bad. It's neutral. It's energy. And you decide what that energy becomes. It can be the fire that consumes you, or the fire that tempers you into steel. The greatest warriors, the most successful minds, the ones who stand above the rest, they don't avoid stress. They embrace it. They seek it. They understand that adversity is the training ground for greatness. You want strength? It comes from struggle. You want wisdom? It comes from failure. You want power? It comes from pressure. So stop cursing your hardships. Stop wishing for an easier road. Instead, ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me? How can I use this? Stress is only suffering when you resist it. But when you embrace it, when you use it as fuel, it becomes the very thing that sets you apart from the rest. So I ask you, will you let pressure break you? Or will you use it to become unbreakable? Lesson 6. Relationships and gratitude. Shifting from expectation to appreciation. Most people walk through life expecting love, expecting loyalty, expecting respect. And when the world doesn't meet their expectations, they feel betrayed, bitter and resentful. They focus on what they don't have, what they aren't receiving, and in doing so, they poison their own relationships. But here's the truth. Expectation is the death of gratitude. The moment you start believing that people owe you something, you've already lost. No one owes you kindness. No one owes you respect. No one owes you love. The only thing you can control is what you give. And the more you focus on appreciating instead of expecting, the more power you have. Think about this. How often do we take the people in our lives for granted? How often do we only notice what's missing instead of what's already there? You don't notice a roof over your head until it's gone. You don't appreciate a loyal friend until they walk away. You don't recognize love until it's no longer given freely. Gratitude is the difference between resentment and fulfillment. It's the force that turns a routine relationship into a powerful bond. It's the key to transforming not enough into more than enough. Instead of saying, why don't they do more for me? Start saying, I appreciate what they already do. Instead of thinking, they never understand me, ask yourself, have I taken the time to truly understand them? When you shift your mindset from expectation to appreciation, You stop feeling like a victim in your relationships. You stop focusing on what's missing and start valuing what's present. And when you do that, something powerful happens. People want to be around you. They want to give more. They want to strengthen the connection, because gratitude is magnetic. So the next time you feel unappreciated, overlooked, or disappointed, stop, shift, reframe. Ask yourself, what am I taking for granted right now? Because the moment you replace expectation with gratitude, you stop being empty and start becoming full. Lesson 7. The power of words. How your language shapes your mindset. Words are not just sounds. They are commands to your mind. They are the script that dictates your reality. Every phrase you repeat, every thought you reinforce, every label you attach to yourself, it all shapes the world you experience. Most people speak as if they are powerless. I have to go to work. I can't do this. I'm stuck in this situation. What they don't realize is that these words aren't just descriptions. They are declarations. When you say I have to, you make yourself a prisoner of obligation. When you say I can't, you shut the door on possibility. When you say I'm stuck, you ensure that you never move. Now imagine flipping the script. I get to go to work. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will. I'm learning how to get out of this situation. Do you feel the difference? One mindset traps you. The other empowers you. Every word you speak programs your subconscious mind. Your brain takes these commands and starts shaping your actions, your emotions, your identity to match them. You say you're tired, you'll feel more exhausted. You say you're weak, your body will obey. But if you say you're capable, if you say you're getting stronger, your mind will shift to make it true. The greatest people in history weren't just disciplined in action, they were disciplined in language. They spoke strength, even in weakness. They spoke power, even in struggle. And because they spoke it, they became it. So from this moment on, guard your words like a warrior guards his weapon. Speak as if every sentence shapes your future, because it does. And the next time you catch yourself saying something that weakens you, stop, reframe, speak power into your life. Because if you master your words, you master your world. Lesson 8. Making it a lifestyle. Turning gratitude into a daily habit. Mindset shifts don't happen overnight. Changing the way you see the world. Shifting from I have to I get to. From expectation to appreciation. From burden to privilege. This is not a one-time realization. It is a discipline, a way of life, a battle you fight every single day. Most people will hear these ideas, feel inspired for a moment, and then return to their default settings, complaining, resenting, taking things for granted. They'll slip back into their old patterns because they never trained themselves to make gratitude automatic. But you are not most people. You understand that true transformation requires repetition. Just like a warrior sharpens his blade, you must sharpen your mind daily. Gratitude must become a reflex, a part of your identity, a lens through which you view every moment. So how do you make this shift permanent? Start and end your day with gratitude. The first thought in your mind when you wake up should be, what am I grateful for today? The last thought before you sleep should be, what was the best part of my day? Catch yourself in negative language. The moment you say I have to, stop, reframe, say I get to, every single time, until it becomes second nature. Turn frustration into opportunity. When stress hits, when problems arise, ask, how is this happening for me? What can I learn? How can I use this? Express gratitude to others. Don't just feel it. Say it. Tell people when you appreciate them. Watch how your relationships transform when gratitude replaces expectation. Write it down. Keep a journal of 3 things you're grateful for every day. No excuses. This rewires your brain over time. This is how you make gratitude not just a thought, but a way of life. This is how you stop drifting and start creating the reality you want. Gratitude is the secret weapon of those who refuse to be victims. It is the foundation of true strength. It is the difference between those who endure life and those who master it. So ask yourself, will you let life pass you by? Or will you train yourself to see the power in every moment? The choice is yours, but choose wisely, because the mindset you build today determines the future you create tomorrow. To the returning GrimFace warriors, you already know what this is. You've chosen the hard path, the path of discipline, of self-mastery, of breaking free from the chains that hold the weak in place. You've heard the call, and you keep coming back because you know the truth. This is the battle for your mind, your future, and your legacy. And to those who are new here, consider this your initiation. If you've made it this far, something inside you is waking up. A part of you knows you were meant for more. This is not just another motivational speech. This is war. A war against weakness, against excuses, against the system that wants you numb, distracted, and powerless. Subscribe to the GrimFace movement. Step into a mindset of resilience, power, and absolute control over your life. Join the warriors who refuse to settle, who refuse to bow, who refuse to be ordinary. Because once you see the world through this lens, once you break free, you never go back. Stay strong, stay ruthless, stay GrimFace.